Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Abigail Killen, and I'm a certified Christian life coach, as well as the founder of Perfect Love Life Coaching. If you don't already know me, I'm a certified Christian life coach who helps women own their Christian identity with joy and purpose through biblical truths. Today, I'm going to be changing your whole perspective on what it means to guard your heart. And I'm going to do it in a special way, so stick around because I think you're going to like it. Proverbs 4:23 says, "Keep thy heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life." Why would God give us a heart that is above all else wicked and has so many issues and has so many problems? And why would he give this to us? But we need to shift our perspectives, that God didn't give us a corrupt heart. He gave us a heart that is able to be corrupted. And Proverbs 23:7 says, "As he thinketh in his heart, so is he." A lot of times, the things that we feel don't match up with what we know. Logic and feelings don't always mix together the right way. And we want to combat that. We want to guard our heart. We want to make sure that we're putting the right things in it. But I want to introduce a concept to you that maybe you've never heard before whenever you're talking about this verse in particular, and this concept, which is instead of just putting good things in it, take out the bad stuff first. So this is my visual representation of your heart. It is a treasure chest that I use for my Sunday school kids, and they have a lot of teeny little prizes, and they have little gems, which I'm going to use, and they get little prizes with the gems. But I wanted to show you this because I think that this is something that actually really helped me understand this. When this clicked for me, I was able to change my habits and my thoughts and the way that I interpreted this verse. A lot of times I see different pastors and preachers and evangelists talk about putting all the good stuff in your heart. But what about all of the bad stuff? When you come to God, he wants you to come to him as you are, but not stay as you are. Because when you become a Christian, you are a new creature, created in his image. You are having all of the old sins and all of the bad things that you've ever done be washed away. It passes away, the old you, and the new creature in Christ comes up and is new and is looking at the world with new eyes and a different perspective, and you're supposed to live your life differently as well. Coming to church is not all about feeling good. It's not all about, oh, I need filled up for the week. If all that nasty stuff is still in there, one drop of ink in water infects all of the water, and the whole clear glass becomes black. And it doesn't matter even if it was just a drop. So this treasure chest is going to be an example of your heart and putting things in it, but also taking things out. I'm going to show you around our little box here. It has a clasp in the front, but it does not have a lock. Because one thing that we don't want to do is lock everything out, is shut everything out, is not let anything in. We want to let the good stuff in. But if you lock your heart, that means you also keep the bad stuff in too. And so let's open it up. And let's take a look, because every person needs to open their heart. So at the beginning of your life, you open up your heart. And I'll show you, it's empty. There's nothing in it. Of course, as you get older, though, you start to feel different things and learn new things, and it changes. So I have all these different colored gems over here. I want to focus on what I'm putting in and how much I'm putting into it. So let's start with your thoughts. As you get older, I want you to just think about it, okay? When you were a kid, what thoughts did you have? Maybe they weren't big. Maybe it was like, I love my mom and dad. Ooh, I'm feeling really good about today. Today's a sunny day. Or I'm so happy I have Mr. Rabbit here with me. Maybe you're getting a little bit older and you're like, wow, I think school's going to be really fun. I think school's going to be really scary. And those tie into our emotions too. But just think about your thoughts. Maybe you were thinking about different things like your friendships. Maybe you were thinking about what you were going to eat that day. Maybe you were thinking about different times in your life that were really exciting. Maybe events were coming up, vacations that were being planned. Maybe it was something about your upcoming school year, or maybe a sleepover that was about to occur. And then as we hit this last mark here, this last gem, it's a thought that starts to shift. Your thoughts start to shift into something else. They start to get into different, more advanced ways of thinking, thought processes, if you will. And so you start thinking about your future. And every person hits a point in their life where your thoughts, your emotions, your desires, your choices, it all changes. And so these are like your childish thoughts, your childish emotions, your desires, the choices that you make. You might make mistakes. You might do all these different things. And so let me grab the yellow. Now your thoughts have changed over time. And they're starting to get very mixed with your emotions, because when you're little, you've got all these random thoughts, you're soaking up everything, and you've also got all these emotions, but they're not really connected. But then you get older and it starts to connect. And so now your thoughts are connecting with your emotions, and you're like, I think today's going to be a good day, and that makes me happy. I think that tomorrow is going to be a little bit worse for me because I have a test, and that kind of makes me anxious. So now you're feeling anxiety. Mom and dad are fighting. This kind of scares me, and you're feeling fear. Maybe you're feeling worry because you saw your friends fighting, or maybe they're not getting along and you're in the middle. Maybe you're feeling pressure because you're getting really bad report cards and your parents are putting pressure on you to do better. Maybe you're feeling super worried or anxious or depressed because all these events keep accumulating and you're thinking so much and it's making your heart hurt. And now you're feeling pain. Maybe you've experienced a loss in your life and this loss is really weighing on your mind. It makes you feel depressed. It makes you feel sad. It makes you feel worried. Maybe you start to think about your friendships a little bit harder, or your relationships with your family members, and you're starting to feel doubt. And you're starting to learn things in Sunday school, and you're starting to learn things at school, and you're starting to learn things at home, and you're like, wow, I've got all these different things I have to know and I have to learn, and it's all really confusing, and I feel confused. I feel conflicted. There's so many different opinions around me. There's so many different viewpoints. Now there's some stuff in our treasure chest. Now there's some stuff in here. And some of it good, some of it bad, some of it happy stuff, some of it not so happy, but that's life. That happens. Now we're getting into your desires. Desires are going to be filled with thoughts and emotions. So instead of just thoughts and emotions, we're now into your desires, because all of your thoughts turn into ways that you feel different things about those thoughts. And then now that you have all these thoughts and feelings, you push them into desires, things that you want. And I'm, of course, understanding that you feel desires, you feel emotions, you feel thoughts, you make choices your entire life, even from whenever you were little. But they didn't all connect. Now it's starting to connect as you get older. It's starting to make sense, and it's also starting to get more confusing at the same time. And so these desires, maybe because your friends are all going out and you want to go out too, you have the desire to join them. You have the desire to go out. You have the desire to have a sleepover because your friends are having one. You have the desire to start driving. Maybe your friends are starting to drive and you feel that that's something you want to start doing, so you get your permit and you start driving and you're starting to practice. And maybe your parents are starting to really kind of crack down on you with your grades, and so it makes you want to run away. It makes you want to kind of go into yourself because you're feeling pressure. So then you just stop working altogether. You don't want to work. You don't want to do anything. Maybe you have the desire to seek someone who can help you and you're feeling like you need an outlet. Maybe you desire a close friend who can understand you. Maybe you desire some really nice clothes or really nice shoes, or you really want your hair to look good that day. That's desire. Maybe your desires are getting a little bit more deep. You desire a partner. You desire some type of boyfriend or girlfriend. Maybe you desire a closer relationship with the family member. Maybe you desire to get closer with the Lord. Some people desire to run away from the Lord because it's been shoved in their faces their whole lives. Maybe you desire to run away from everything. Maybe you desire something even more than that, something that you shouldn't desire. Maybe you desire something that will be harmful to you or to someone else. So now we've got some more stuff in our heart here. We've got some very natural things occurring. We've got thoughts, emotions, and desires. Let's talk about choices. We make a lot of choices. So now it's time to grab our orange crystals. All right, I've got a lot of orange crystals here, so I'm gonna have to use both hands. But now we're getting into your choices. You have 1,000,000 thoughts, 1,000,001 emotions, and 1,000,002 desires, but your choices are endless. You make so many choices, even if they're subconscious choices that you don't realize you're making. That is what's scary about choices. And that's what's scary about consequences with your choices. Your choices outweigh all of your thoughts, emotions, and desires because they are out loud, they are outspoken, they are action. And actions speak louder than words. They speak louder than your thoughts. They speak louder than your desires. Actions are the things that move you. Choices are the things that change your life. So maybe because of these emotions, thoughts, and desires, you choose to make more friends. You choose to get a significant other. You choose to go ahead and fall into your depression and not talk to anyone, to recluse into yourself, to stay in bed, to stay in your room, to never come out. Maybe you choose to go off on a vacation because you're tired of being stuck where you are in your life. Maybe you are tired of being where you've always been, and so you run away. That's not a desire anymore, that's a choice. Maybe you choose that you're tired of letting people walk all over you and you're tired of being a doormat, so you start to speak up for yourself. Maybe you're tired of the way things have been in your house and so you speak up to your parents. Maybe you're tired of always failing in class and so you decide to get a tutor. Maybe you decide that your therapist is worth listening to. They've tried to tell you things and you've wrestled with them for a long time and you finally decide to listen and then go through with an action and do something about it. Maybe you've been thinking about therapy or people have been telling you to and you don't want to, but you go anyway. You don't want to get up for school, but you go anyway. You don't want to go to work, but you go anyway. You don't even want to get a job, but you apply for it anyway. There are so many choices that we make. And I'm not going to go through with a bunch more of these because there's a lot more, but you make all of these choices one by one. And they don't go away. They can't leave your heart. They're there. You did this. You did this. And that's okay. Life is life. You make a lot of choices. You have a lot of thoughts, emotions, desires, and choices. And they're all in here. And the only person who can see them besides you is God. Now, all the other stuff. Let's talk about what you consume. I know that this is kind of long, but I think this is going to help you visualize this. You consume music, movies, books. You consume plays, different conversations. You consume different media or politics. You consume different videos, or maybe it's all kinds of different things. Put it in there. Whatever it is that you put into your heart, whatever it is that you consume, you put it in there. It's in there. It goes in there. Your heart is open. Maybe you're putting all these different emotions of other people in there. Maybe you're worried about other people so much that you can't focus on yourself. But guess what? It's still affecting you. It's still going in there. Let's talk about the little things that you don't think matter. Let's talk about the things that you tell yourself. Because in Proverbs 23:7, it says, "As he thinketh in his heart, so he is. I'm worthless. I'm ugly. I'm not going to be anyone's first choice. I don't deserve to be here. No one loves me. I don't want to be here anymore. Life is meaningless." It's starting to fill up. It's starting to get weighty. Before you realize it, it's full. It's so full. And your heart's starting to feel heavy. Because even with all this good in here, look at how much other stuff is in here. I can't even see all the good stuff anymore. It's so filled up. I'm going to grab my clear beads. What do these represent? I want this to be something that you make yours. take a moment right now in the video, and I want you to think of what you put in your heart the most, and these clear beads represent you and the thing that you put in there the most. Let it be the worst thing that you put in there. Let it be the best thing. Let it be the thing that you most put into your heart, that you most speak into your life, that you most consume. Whatever it is, this is you. This is for you. I'm allowing you to take the time, take the chance to put whatever it is that's consuming your heart in my hand right now. And it's going in there. And it's all mixed in. And now that you've done that, what does it feel like? You don't want to put anything else in here. Your heart is too full. You don't want anything else. I'm tired. My heart is heavy. I'm depressed. I'm anxious. I'm over this. I cannot do it anymore. I cannot put anything else in my heart. I cannot worry about anyone else or anything else. I'm tired. And you close your heart and you shut it and you don't let anyone else in. You lock everyone out. And you honestly put all your problems aside. Your heart doesn't leave your chest, but you put it on the back burner. And you forget about it, and you try not to let it hurt you or burn you up inside, but it's still doing it, isn't it? It still hurts, doesn't it? Yeah, it doesn't leave. It does not leave. And why is that? Why is it that no matter what else you try to do, you try to open up your heart a little bit to try to let someone else in? You try to put more stuff in it. Why am I not feeling better? Why is it when I read the Bible and I pray, why am I not getting anything? Why does it feel like he's not talking to me? Why I go to church each week and nothing's happening? Where is the room for him? Where can he find the room in here when there's no space left? You've put all this stuff in here. How is he supposed to get in? Every bead represents something that you filled in your life with things, and they can be good and bad, that all these choices, desires, and things that you've put in here, but they still weigh, they still have weight, and you can never get rid of them, but you can change them. All of these different colors represent all of the different feelings, thoughts, emotions, and desires that you've had over your entire life. And what someone is not telling you, what the mainstream Christianity is not telling you, is that this is not working for you and it's not working for God. You cannot ask him and say, God, please come into my heart and help me, whenever there is no space in there for him. You haven't let go of all of these things. They will never leave. They're never going to leave your heart. They're never going to leave the past. They're never going to be able to be erased in your eyes and in your heart. But God says, make your desires his desires, your choices his choices. Look through his eyes and see people the way he sees them. And so if you can do that with all of those things, can't you do that with your heart? If I can't get rid of these things and they're just going to have to stay in my past, what do I do then? It's not what God says. He says that he makes you a new creature, and all things are passed away and are made brand new. You are a new creature, crafted in his image. You are worthy of love. And he wants to fix this. He wants to help you. And so what he's going to do is, if you let him in and let him work, then you're also going to have to do the work too. God, I recognize that these things were hurting me. Lord, I don't want to do this anymore. God, I'm going to give myself to you in this way. I can give this up. Lord, this decision that I made was hurting me. These desires that I had don't serve me anymore. God, I surrender my will to yours. Lord, I'm going to give you today and tomorrow. Lord, I'm going to serve you by raising my children to honor you. God, change my desires. God, change my desires. God, change my desires. Jesus, please, please help me get rid of this. God, help me move this mountain. Jesus, help me forget my past. Lord, you erased my pain. You erased my sins. You erased my problems. Help me forget them. Help me get rid of them. Lord, restore my heart. Renew my mind. Get rid of all of this sorrow and doubt and anguish that I feel. Help me let go of how these people treated me. Help me see that you love me. Fill my heart with your love, Jesus. Help me to desire you. Help me to want to fight for others. Help me to want what you want. Jesus, help me see that over all things, that you love me. Your son died on the cross for me, for my sins, buried and rose again on the third day because he wanted me to live with him forever. Jesus, change me. Give me a new heart. I give my life to you. That is how you guard your heart. That is how you guard your heart. This stuff that you moved out of your heart is still there. It's still there in the world. People will remember your mistakes because everyone wants to see you fail. People will say, I thought you were this person. How are you a Christian? You used to do this with me. You used to do this stuff. You used to hang out with me in this way. I can't believe that you are acting like this. You used to do all that stuff. There's no way you can be redeemed. There's no way that God would love you or want you. And what is this? This is your heart. Those mistakes are still here. I can still see them. They're still present, but not in God's eyes. Whenever you accepted Jesus as your Savior, whatever time, whatever day that was, he cleansed your heart, he removed your past, and he gave you a clean slate. Now that there is room for God, you can fill him into your life. And you drop in his love, you drop in his forgiveness, his mercy, his kindness. You start to give him your life and you give him surrender. And then you pray and you read your Bible and you worship him. You go to church for the right reasons with the best intentions. You serve your neighbor. You love your neighbor as yourself. You put him first. You submit to him. You show other his grace, mercy, and love and forgiveness. You start to serve him in all the ways that you never thought possible and you never had space for, you never had time for. Now you do. And all these mistakes that you thought were problems, God said, those are just who you were before, and now you don't have to look on those with disgust. Now you can fill your heart back up with all of me. And I'm going to change all those ugly memories, and I'm going to give you joy. I'm going to give you peace. I'm going to give you patience, kindness, goodness, self-control. I'm going to give you a spirit that yearns for me. I'm going to give you the will to love others. I'm going to change you inside and out. You came to the God who sees you. You came to the God who heals. You came to Yeshua, Yahweh, Messiah. You came to Jesus. And now he has your heart. And this heart where you thought it was ugly, all those problems you thought you had, all those issues that you thought couldn't be fixed, couldn't be used for good, all these experiences, Jesus cleansed. And he put them through fire, and gold and diamonds came out. And now you have a beautiful, renewed heart. And now you guard it. And you don't keep it fully closed. It's always able to be opened up for the right things. And Jesus will always be there to fill it back up whenever you feel like it's starting to get empty or too heavy. Jesus says, cast your cares upon me, for I careth for you. He cares for you. Lean on him. He will change your heart. And he will give you a new heart. I know that was silly and kind of theatrical, but I pray that it touched your heart a little bit and it spoke to you, because what I was really trying to get across to you is that people will tell you to just fill your heart with God and then you will be healed, and to feel really good and God will bless you and keep blessing you. But there's no way for you to ever have a fulfilling relationship where you're full of God if there's not room for Him. And churches are hospitals for sick people. And you go in and you come out feeling better. But that medication wears off. And the only thing that you should be there for is the true cure, which is Jesus. And you have to make room for it. You can't go into a hospital and expect to feel better by not removing all the infection. You have to remove the corruption and infection in your life. Jesus helps you do that, but you have to surrender to Him. You have to allow Him to work, and I promise you, you will not regret it. It will not be easy, and it will be painful, and it will be hard, and it will be confusing, but Jesus will always be there for you. And if you're in a church that is not speaking the name of Jesus, that is not supporting you, but also pushing you to be the best version of yourself that God has created you to be, that is not the place for you. If your friends aren't doing that, your family, your loved ones, if they're not doing that for you, that's not the place for you. Jesus is where you get your peace. Jesus is where you get your renewal. He is the one that changes your desires, your thoughts, your intentions, your emotions, and that changes how you live, your choices. Jesus said He wants you to have life and life more abundantly, and He gives it to you as a free gift if you accept it and allow Him to help work in you and do His good work. I do want to say, however, that I'm going to be going on to an on and off bi-weekly Saturday posting schedule. And as you can see, I've already started doing that, but I just wanted to share that with you as confirmation right now. I was really debating on it, but how many times I've missed posting and everything. I'm actually doing a lot of school right now, and I'm doing a lot of other busy work outside of just these wonderful videos that I love doing, and so it is hard to keep up with an every week schedule. So bi-weekly I think is going to be a lot easier for me to manage. I just pray you stick with me, and I know that that's kind of hard and it's not really the best news ever, but it's just something I have to do right now. And I pray that I can get even better content out for you because I'm able to have more time. But again, I do love you so much, and I hope that you have an amazing week, and I pray for your safety and health, and that you feel the Lord's embrace this week. All right, guys, bye.